Got the Lego Star Wars set, the Tatooine 4, 18 up, 75, 376. For this new wave of the 25th anniversary. So definitely some cool sets out there. I missed the Millennium Falcon. It was at the store, and I kind of went and did some other stuff, and we only had one copy. But today, I found the Tatooine Invasion, or the boarding scene. We only had one, and this time I grabbed it before I grabbed anything else. The reason I'm doing this with a knife is this way I don't have to rip the tabs open, is what my thinking is. But it's possible that it may not work that way. We'll see. This box here was slightly damaged. I did see several of these copies at Walmart and somewhere else today. For the receipt police. Okay. Bag one. We got some loose. Looks like 16s. You got 16s. Bag 5. Bag 3. Bag 2. We do have a sticker sheet. And we got 4 of these. We have the wide instructions with a front view of the Tatooine 4. Blockade runner, what you want to call it, I guess. It's got a pretty straight up build. For what it's worth, the inside pages are gray. And yeah, using a different device here. There's an iPhone with a notch on it. It looks like an iPhone anyways. Probably is. It doesn't really matter. Got some details here on the history of the ship. And the big model they use. This is a good size model down here for the film. And a couple different languages. It's a pretty good looking build. I definitely like the Star Destroyer. I still remember that scene, and talks about the brick separator, which is in bag number 1, and how to use it. I guess we'll go ahead and go with step 1. And for step 1, start with bag 1. We need someone to open the bag. Found this knife at a bus stop. I think I've just mentioned that before, but I'm sure I know I mentioned that. There's a brick separator. I've seen this in like a teal green color. I don't know if it makes it. They make it in other colors, but I've seen it in that color. I think I just rip it this time with this one. Oops. Aha. Little studs are going everywhere. Love that. Okay. Pretty simple step 1, I guess. And they got at the bottom, they have the activity bar showing where you're at on completion. That is a washer that we're here and here on the side. Kind of got to hit the hay pretty quickly because I got to work tomorrow. We're closed on Monday, of course, because of Seward's Day. That's because we're in Alaska after all. 1x4s come down through here. And this comes in, looks like right around here. And actually, I think it goes in a little bit further. Oops. Separation. Here we are. Wow. It's a lot of viewers. Thank you. How y'all doing tonight? Anyways, so that's where we're at. I don't know how y'all out there, if you picked up these sets or not. Pretty exciting. I like to see plus there's also 5s in the boarding one, which is kind of cool. Nice to see those throwbacks. It's nice to see the new rekindled interest in things. It's a pretty strong build there. I've got the two PlayScale Tanto V4s, include the one from 2019. They were from eBay, and had to kind of piece it together. Okay. See, a weird little thing popped up there, so I touch the screen to see what's up. This one would be kind of interesting if you got it as a used set. Used sets are interesting. They can be a lot of fun, but they can be kind of daunting. Good opportunity to sometimes get a set that isn't made anymore, or it's hard to find, or in my case, very expensive in a perfectly, we guarantee everything is their condition. If you buy something that is knowingly missing pieces, it might be missing some pretty critical ones that might be hard to get. That's sometimes why people will have it, listed as, oh, it's missing a few pieces. Turns out it's missing maybe the only piece made, or a quite rare piece. But I remember somebody's video where they bought the rare UCS 2002, and it was missing the weird radar dish. How you doing? The set is it's a Tanto V4 from the new 18 Up 25th anniversary. Set number is 75376, 654 pieces. It's one of those mid-scale. I'm gonna call it a mid-scale set. That washer is quite loud, but I don't have much choice, so. I think it's over this way, out of camera shot. Kind of interesting how Legos always bag these pieces. Y'all remember when, oh, thanks, man. Remember when the old Lego sets had the little air holes in the bags? And sometimes they didn't have numbers back in those days. That's sometimes one of the best things about an old set. You open it up and you see pieces, and sometimes see construction techniques that they just simply don't do anymore. Sometimes you see illegal techniques actually used by Lego in an actual set. And sometimes illegal techniques come back. We'll see when the first, I don't know if there's any pink bricks in here, but there might be. Lego usually sneaks one or two in, usually. I know they haven't found them on the Endor Speeder Chase, and the trunks of some of the trees were some of the pink bricks. I don't know what it is. It seems like some of the new bricks have just a different plasticky feel to it, and I do remember the squeaky, lightly squeaky way the old pieces went together, and that scent they had was very unique. It's a very strong build, very sturdy build, and that's something to be said for Lego. Is they do think about these things. We're doing a spin cycle. Oops. Here we are getting ahead of ourselves as usual. I wouldn't mind the design. I'm working on that tree and haven't hit any solid blocks yet. That is bricks or places where I'm, kind of not sure what to do. I have a definite idea in my head on what direction I'm going. Just a matter of getting the pieces together, which some of the pieces are a little harder to find, or at least in the quantity that I want. But I always like the look of the Tantivy. Yes, I would like to get the UCS one, but it's held with rubber bands, and I know it's quite fragile, and it's the old gray, which works really good for Star Wars. All pieces of one bin. Ooh, yeah, I have one of those, I think called Roughneck Tote. No, Action Packer, because it is old. And it's got a bunch of old sets and pieces in there, and they are loose, and it's slowly going through that. Yeah, those were definitely some good sets. And they're plastic bricks. It doesn't really hurt them. Sometimes the minifigures will get scratched up, no doubt about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm old enough that little mold mark used to be on the end. I remember those. But it's kind of funny how Legos stayed with me all these years. Okay, what do we got here? Gold to gold. Okay. And yes, I am reading the instructions because. And these are towels. Okay. Oh, these are the little astromech droids. Okay. Oh, the 2000 Slave One? Yeah, that is a set, and I don't believe I actually own that one. I'm almost positive I don't own that one. That's a very nice set. That's very nice. It's a very nice set. Oh, hello. How you doing? Yeah, the new dark red definitely feels better. We'll see in 5 years how they're doing. Because, you ever sometimes take an old set apart or just maybe checking it out, dusting it, just, seeing what's up. And, oh, look, it's starting to crack. Or it'll rise up. In someone's video out there, I think it was a UCS Sandcrawler. And it wasn't like, anything you want to, like, really freak out about. But he had some broken pieces, and they look like they just sort of lifted and rolled a little bit. They are a bag too. They rip pretty easily. I've been told that the sound of the plastic pieces on the speaker is pretty loud. Hey, how you doing? This is the 75376 Tantivy 4. That's currently out, 25th anniversary wave. It's a pretty cool set, actually. I was able to find the boarding of the Tantivy at Walmart tonight up here, but right now it's almost 9 o'clock or 2100 hours. If you're at the barn where I'm working at it, everything has to be stated in Zulu time or military time, whatever you want to call it. It's actually what I grew up with because our clocks in our house, that's how the times are set up. So I learned it at an early age, shall we say. I also learned the phonetic alphabet. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, yeah. Which was interesting, I guess. I mean, if you grow up that way, you don't really think about it. It doesn't seem different. It only seems different if someone else says it's different. And you know. But didn't really have too many visitors, so that's that. Oop, wrong one. Oh, put the wrong one down. We got two types of tile. Here we are. Yeah, I'm already seeing the shape of the Tantivy. Interesting. There goes a washer. But yeah, I do like these new sets that are coming out. I like to see the new interest things, and I would love to just do mock building, but I'd still want to see a new set here and there just to see what Lego's doing, and maybe some new pieces have come out. Especially the plants and trees. Some of the leaves are pretty interesting. That's kind of a weak connection. Of course, it is an 18 set, so maybe I shouldn't be that critical. But we're allowed to be critical, right? Okay, is that tan? I guess it's a tan one. Oh, right there. Okay. Goes in like so, and we got a gray one down here on the end. Interesting. Sometimes it's interesting how the pieces come together at the end, and then you guys ever build sets and you literally tell yourself, you know, I think I would have done it differently. And that's the great thing about Lego is you can do it differently. You can actually do set modifications. I've done that a few times. Usually I don't. I like to leave at least one set unmodified with my personal, you know, touches to it. But I've been known to definitely add a few bricks or even remove a couple and change things up a little bit. I've seen these pieces before, but I actually didn't own any. Well, not in this color anyways. I had a couple from my shuttle, but or I should have had some, but you know. I've run into that missing a few pieces on some of the new Lego sets. It's all good though. It's all good. This log piece has been used on a lot of different things. I kind of like it. And in a pinch, you can use it for like regular brick sometimes, depending on how things are going. Pretty solid build, pretty heavy. Oh, okay. So that weird Technic piece goes in like so. And, oh, I see. I wonder if that's for the big radar dish. Could be, I guess. Oh, never mind. Let's see, I was about to screw up there. Do you remember some of the old sets, how the instructions were sometimes really hard to read, or they would only have one side and you have to like, you know, use a little thinking to roll it over on the other side. I remember one set I did. I think it was one of the AT-ATs, I think. But it literally jumped. It's like, I got thinking, what happened to the rest of the build? I just copied the design. But then like several pages ahead, there it was. I'm like, that's kind of funny. By then I'd already done it, so it didn't matter. But I like how it comes with the greebling. That's where I'd like to try a set would be if I could do the greebling the same way. And this one is reversed. Okay. And it lines up. Okay, interesting. Another one of these gold bar bricks goes here, or ingot bricks, I should say. Done in white. Yeah. Yeah, they've definitely done some cool stuff. I like some of the more dynamic videos and things. They're definitely cool. Good old Samsung washer. Still get used to the sound of that thing. The old washer didn't have sound effects or alarms on it. Okay, spread the word, yeah. That's the thing, that sometimes things just don't get pushed on the algorithm. I've noticed I don't know, a lot of people tell me it's intentionally, getting smothered sometimes videos, but I'm not sure if that's it. Probably to some degree. Some things are. I know they are, but at least that's what people say. I don't know. Some subjects, some videos, some creators, it just doesn't seem like their content goes out there. Like, there's I don't remember what his channel is. I have to look it up every time. I'm not exactly a huge follower, but his videos are really suppressed. You gotta type it in and look for the newest videos. Sometimes they don't always show up either. But I guess it's a type of censorship, I suppose. Algorithm one. Wouldn't that be very hard to catch someone, even if you wanted to accuse them of, that they were doing something they shouldn't be? Because it might not be. It might just be that weird AI stuff. I don't know. But yeah, definitely, it's good to spread the word on things. I know that something had happened to one of the land members, and his video really wasn't getting a lot of traction, and I just happened to see it because it came with my recommendation, just totally out of the blue. Pixel piece. And we've got possibly one of the engines, looks like. Oh yeah, and the first of the stickers. I don't know. What do y'all think? How do you guys feel about stickers? Oh, of course it's a sticker, Sometimes, to be honest, I don't put stickers on. Oh, sorry, I have been watching the thing. Set building as Lego Star Wars 75376 18 plus the Tantive V4 from the 25th anniversary series. Sure, you can subscribe. Thank you. Oh well, thanks for the compliment, man. Thanks for the great support. I definitely it's definitely cool to hear that. Yeah, I recognize what this piece is. Let's see, front of the ship. It shouldn't have taken me that long to figure it out. It just I rebuilt one of the old ones, the engine pieces, and it's the same size for that one. So You know what? I wonder if it isn't better to put this in first. Sometimes you do old sets and you'll see stickers that are not applied right, and it's always like, do you want to move it? Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, very excited. Hey, how you doing? Um, and I guess just bricks down to the front. Yeah. First hand feelings. Let's get to the length of the ship. Proportion seems to be more accurate than the play scale one. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, bag 3. There's like a big glass bowl sitting here. Sometimes I use it for sorting pieces. Sometimes I use it to like sort pieces out. But that's one of the biggest problems. That's one of my biggest hang up on that one UCS set I'm working on is it's all at the same color grade, it seems like. And I am missing a few pieces. I hit a little bit of a snag. And now I can't remember if the pieces came in. I hope I put the new pieces in with the set. So it's not totally a wasted effort, but we'll see. But yeah, it's very cool. But yeah, sometimes the old sets, a few pieces are missing. Sometimes the pieces are missing is like no big deal. I mean, there was one guy sent me, and he's like, "Yeah, it's missing all these pieces," and it was missing all pieces, but they were all like really basic little bricks and a couple of round bricks, and I mean, it was missing a fair number of pieces. Make no mistake, but it was pieces that most people would have if you had to order them. It wouldn't be a big deal. And then another guy, and the pieces that are missing are kind of a big deal because they weren't that common to begin with. But I don't know. If you guys get a set in, like especially a basic one, do you prefer that's all broken down so you can assemble it and check it for cracks and stuff yourself, or do you prefer if they're half built? Sometimes people send the set completely built. They just wrap up in paper or plastic. Sometimes it gets busted up, and that's the worst, I think, because something will be broken internally, broken loose or whatever, and maybe even broken. That's happened to me. And it's like, well, it's a slight problem, guys, because I gotta take the whole thing apart now. And then you find maybe they use the wrong color somewhere inside, or maybe even one time a guy had used something, had cut some of the plates to fit. Yeah, half built can be nice. I know I got an AT-AT and the legs been removed, but everything else was there. And that was one of the walking ones. That was cool. And the other walking one, 2007 so-called UCS one. I said so-called because it has a UCS number, but it's not really UCS, Not like we know them now. And that one was arrived in multiple piles. No other way to put it. And that was different. That was really interesting. Not the end of the world, and, but I think my least favorite is when they're assembled in such a way and they're shipped in such a way that they arrive and something has broken loose inside, like that Mega Block set for Lori for Christmas present. Have not done that one yet. It is smashed to pieces. I don't think there's anything actually broken, but I got to take it completely apart, and that one incredibly is missing a few pieces, and the seller was totally straight up about that, but it's going to be taken completely apart, and I'm going to have to catalog it, and that's like really requires organization, and it requires time, and sometimes I'm a little short on both, let's face it. I mean, I'm one of those guys, if I can just throw it together, or if it looks pretty much good, I can just go from there, but some of the sets I've assembled enough of them, or I've assembled enough that are similar that it's not that big of a deal. Like the 75080 AAT, it's a pretty simple set. You can usually tell if there's something missing. Today was a funny day, and I kept running into people that I knew from before. What's this? What's your favorite all-time set? It's still 7662, the MTT from 2007. And that was my favorite for a multitude of reasons. One, the play value of the set is off the charts. It is. Has the most minifigures, if you want to call B1's minifigures, which in that case, you almost have to because, that's what it is. But it also has such meaning to me because where I was in my life when it came out, and I remember seeing it at the stores, and it was $99, and a friend of ours had them, and I could have gotten a sealed set right then and there, but sometimes you're just not in a position to do that, and I wasn't. I did actually get one though, but it was, let's face it, it was a very strange choice. Even I would have said, in fact, a friend of mine at the time was like, "You gotta know your priorities." I said, "Yes, you do," and I bought it. And he suggested that my priorities are pretty messed up. Was in jail. But yeah, it was very an interesting time, that's for sure. But oh well, some funny stuff happens. But yeah, sometimes I run into people like from old jobs and things and old places, and a lot of times I can't remember names. I just remember faces. Oh, it's set 75376, the Star Wars Tantive 4 from the 25th anniversary series, the most recent wave that they're dropping. In fact, they got some really cool ones out there. Millennium Falcon has proven to be very, very hard to get up here. I seen it once, and I literally went to go grab some stuff for change of oil and stuff, and I come back and it was gone. I'm like, oh, you idiot! I mean, seriously, David. I mean, really. What is your problem? And I'm like, man. But I said, that's all right. They'll restock. And they did. But they didn't restock Millennium Falcon. They restocked Tantive 4s. And there was quite a few of them. And as I was watching them, there were people were grabbing them off the shelf. So I grabbed a couple, including one of those in a damaged box, which is what we're building here. And it wasn't really damaged that badly, just damaged a little bit. But the perfect box I'm keeping. Oh, really? ATT is at $84. Wow, I thought I scored it at. I got it for like I think it was 99. I thought it was a pretty good deal. But hey, it's a great set. I really like it. I like the geared look inside the knees. I think that Lego definitely got that one right. I mean, it's like Luke's land speeder. I know that a lot of people kind of groan when I talk about in real life too, because some of my coworkers are into Lego, and they tell me, Dave, I mean, seriously, we don't need. I said, maybe we don't need another land speeder. I mean, we don't now, but at one point, as I kept popping out, hey, how you doing? But the land speeder, it really went through some improvements. I mean, they made some really nice copies of the land speeder. And I remember I still have my kind of pink colored one. I'm gonna call it pink. It's not really pink, but it's that early generation color that is pink. I'm sorry, it's pink. And this was set 4501, I think. That had the Greedo, that had the arm striping. The little straps came down his arms. And that was a totally cool set. I really like that one. That was a very cool set. Really like that. But that land speeder was very basic, kind of clunky, but it definitely has its, shall we say, charms. Okay. We're missing a piece here. I guess not really. No, not really. Okay, here we go. There it was. And so this piece here goes here. I know that one of the play scale Tantavis I have, it might be that 2019 one. It's definitely interesting. I have to wake up early. Okay, well, take care of yourself. Thoughts on the UCS Vendor? It's a gorgeous set. I like the fact that you can change the bricks up on top from dark red and make it into a regular Vendor. I really like that feature, so you could have, 2, 3 if you have the space or the money. My favorite Lego set. I'm going to keep it Star Wars 7662, the MTT from 2007, and that's from both nostalgia and just where I was at the time in my life. The favorite Lego set, to be honest, I can't remember the number of it, but that Ninjago set from 2019, I think, with the serpents with the flames on their hoods. That was a pretty cool set too, and that's Ninjago. And then if you go way back, Legos had some really cool ones. The one with the tow truck 710 from 74, 75, with a blue brick built 6-wide car and 6-wide truck, actual tow truck. That's a cool set. The reason I like that one so much is when I was a kid, of course, I used to play with it on the kitchen table, and yeah. But that set's cool because, to be honest, even as a little kid, I really was not a fan of the 4-wide cars because they just looked ridiculously small. I know we didn't have minifigures, I understand that, but it didn't have the mass feeling, and the 6-wide ones did. They finally felt real. At the break of dawn, okay. I try to stream on Saturdays, almost slavishly. Like, I had to work last Saturday, and so I put up a stream so ridiculously late that it was technically Sunday morning stream. And I laugh about it because there was a subscriber who's, well, a couple of them actually, one from England, who made a comment like, if you can't make this stream at a reasonable time, I mean, it's not the end of the world. And of course, he's totally right. But I've been trying to do it on Saturdays. It just, the scheduling is really, really wacky sometimes. I am scheduled at this current time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. And I work Friday, and I totally was going to be off on Friday. Okay. I was totally going to be off on Friday. In fact, me and a coworker were talking about maybe grabbing some breakfast and maybe doing some stuff, and literally it did not happen because I literally, I left a message that, hey, I can't do anything, and sorry about that, if, and they didn't respond back, and that's fine, whatever. And then I ran into them on another route later, so I'm like, okay, so you had to work too? They're like, yeah, a bunch of people didn't show up, and they called me in. So there's that. But yeah, anyways, so I try to be off on Saturday. That was taken away from me last weekend, but generally Saturday is a time I can do this, but I gotta get up early here. Here I am talking, and apparently I can't do two things at the same time because I'm like looking at the instructions and still built it wrong. This is why I have to give it to Lego designers. I wouldn't be able to do that. Of course, I guess if I had a computer program stuff, maybe I would be able to, but yeah. Yeah, work is important. And I don't know. There was a time when, going to work, it was fine. It's still fine, I guess, but ever since the whole 2020 thing, it seems like everything is way too busy. No one has a sense of humor anymore, and a lot of the man, I was talking to a coworker. I'm like, hey, you doing all right? She's like, well, just So I used to say that, like you used to enjoy coming in here, and meanwhile, the person now, she doesn't watch my streams, I'm sure. So she's like sitting there like a zombie, and I thought she was asleep because her cup of coffee almost fell from her hand, but she just like zoned out. I'm like, you doing okay, dude? Seriously, really. I'm only doing like bag 3 right now. You guys already built this setup, I guess, or picked up. I know someone left a comment that they were having trouble finding some of these sets in their locale, and that is one thing. Like, I mean, of course, we hate regional blocking when it comes to movies or internet, YouTube, whatever. But sometimes some of the stuff with Lego, it's like, really, why is that not available? On the other hand, though, oh, these pins hold together. That's cool. There's a whole side of collecting stuff that's kind of exclusive just because it's not, in whatever country you're normally in. Only 3 days, and I had a great time. Yeah, man. See you. Take care of that. Thanks for dropping in. I know I'm not Jewish. Oh, sorry, that was meant for someone in the comment. Never mind. This is yeah. Thank you. Attentive V4. Yeah, I seen a bunch. Well, not a bunch. I'm probably like 4 at Walmart. Which anyone know that about that? Is that how Lego sets come? Do they come 4 to a package? Because during the whole 501st Battle Pack, the what 75280 was it? I couldn't get them, and then all of a sudden Fred Meyer had 4, and a kid had ripped one open, or maybe it was an adult. I don't know. And they offered me a package, and I just said, you know what? I'm just going to be like other people out there, and I said I'm just going to get all 4. And another kid came, so I ended up just buying the one that was damaged, and that's all I saw for a long time, and it was kind of tough. And then the next time I saw 4 again, I was seem to see 4. But yeah, yeah, Christian. So I just wonder, is that how Lego sets come? Do they come 4 generally? Because that kind of makes sense. It's like these sets, I see 4, and then in that set I bought today, the boarding of the Tantive, they only had 1 left, and I'm thinking that they probably had come in a set of 4. The box shape was a little bit different. They had it kind of set sideways, and sometimes people do that when they come back to buy it, like after grocery shopping. To be honest, I've made that mistake a few times and missed out on a set. So, general, if I want a set, I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up because like, well, yeah, it's just disappointing, and after a while, usually you'll see a bunch of these coming out, a bunch of sets. But like that 501st Battle Pack, that was really, really hard to get. And people are saying, well, just get off eBay. Well, yeah, you can do that. And then the shipping and stuff, everything aside, it's not good. It's not good. Like those little the little blister packs that were like $14.99, I think, on Lego.com. I always got back order. So I ended up paying a guy, and with shipping, it was like $45. Now, he was cool. He threw an extra one in that was damaged, so it did bring the price down. And he's like, I'm sorry about the shipping. I'm like, no, it's not your fault. It's just because, he's not getting any benefit from it either, but it's like, shipping is a thing. Yeah, right on. Yeah, the Lego pricing. Hey, I put that short up with that 4 upset that was, that's shocking. $49, $49.99. That and I was like looking at it. And I brought the camera in, zoomed on the price tag, say, hey, this is $49, for the receipt police, because sometimes you would say, oh, well, how do I know that's really the price? Maybe you got the item wrong. But you know what? If that's going to be a problem, if that's going to be an accusation, no problem. No problem. I just simply zoom in on the barcode and you compare it. But that 4-up set for $49, man, that's next level. I just can't. I don't know. I just can't quite do that. It doesn't even look that good, you know. I mean, yeah, it goes pretty quickly. Like I said, I do enjoy a brand new Lego set, or at least have one that all the pieces are there, because boy, it can be super frustrating to rebuild a set that's old. But that's okay, you know. That's part of the fun too. I mean, I enjoy rebuilding old sets, and that's one of the best things about Lego is this set. Years later, it's been off the shelves, been retired forever, and people want like a lot for it. And you can find a one that maybe is still missing. It's missing a few pieces, and maybe the pieces are pretty available pieces, and you're okay with doing a little searching. And that's one of the best things about Lego is you can literally put together a set that hasn't been available for years. Yeah, that 4-up set was something. Oh, you did? Yeah, okay. Well, that's the best reason. I mean, people at work have asked me, "Oh, what set do you think will go up in price?" I said that's a wrong answer to have because my dad, he was he was into like reselling things, and he always said, "Don't buy something to resell that you're not okay with being stuck with." And what that means is maybe the hype will be dead, especially sneakers, and you're gonna be sitting on a whole bunch of something you don't like. Has it had to be for a top three set? Ooh, I think it's very iconic. I mean, when I think about episode four, when I think about the big trilogy, I'm thinking Star Destroyer, I'm thinking about the Tantive, I'm thinking about the Sandcrawler. I'm thinking about Luke's Landspeeder, of course, Death Star, Millennium Falcon. I mean, a friend at work, he goes, hey, well, not a friend, coworker. He's like, hey, to me, he said, I think the Millennium Falcon is like the Enterprise of Star Wars or Star Trek. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, probably so. Mm-hmm. It's definitely recognizable, but you got the X-Wings, you got the TIE Fighters. But the Sandcrawler, that definitely recognized. I mean, people recognize that one. And I was actually surprised how many people that are really not huge Star Wars fans, they still see it, as a kid's show, even though it's such an iconic thing. And they go, yeah, I still remember, Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. I'm like, okay, so certain scenes stick with them. Israel, huh? Yeah, end of the world stuff. That's actually content on my other channel. Um, I do try to keep the live streams on Lego content, but that's because to me, Lego is an escape, which is why. Mm, which is why sometimes if you start, mess with the Lego set and it starts to become more like work, you need to maybe just take a step back. That's what I do. I just like, take a step back because if it starts feeling too much like work, why do it? And I've been there. I've been there where I'm not really enjoying it anymore, or especially like an old set where pieces are missing and stuff. And on that note, I mean, all of us probably would love to be part of LAN or something. And I was just sometimes thinking of the amount of content that you would have to grind out. Yeah, as a kid, I mean, I watched episode 4 on 1977. I was 5 years old. Yeah, it went deep. Yeah, as a kid, I was pretty upset with the episode with the Empire Strikes Back and Han Solo going into the freezing chamber. It's all right. I was there with my friends Jeff and Eric Nielsen, and yeah, it was. I do remember that. Watched at a theater called Polaris Theater, which just became a school. And none of this is going to matter to anyone unless you're local, and it's not going to matter to you locally unless you're probably school age, I guess, or you just like old stuff. We got a Facebook group out here where out here. What am I talking about? What am I even saying? That they do all these old pictures and stuff from Anchorage in the past and the valley in the past, like Honolulu and stuff. And it's like, it's kind of cool. I mean, sometimes it's cool, knowing you're living on top of a place that used to be a gas station. I like, though, how a lot of those histories are, shall we say, sanitized, edited for content. I mean, because there's definitely some unpleasant things that have happened. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I heard things, I saw things. I know a side of Anchorage that doesn't exist anymore. But, yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, that's exactly it. Innocent people. Well, thank you for the vote of confidence and support, man. Favorite Star Wars movie? Oh, that's probably a little bit controversial. I'm gonna just go ahead and put the Rise of Skywalker. Just slide that right off the table. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, because I watched this very first movie I ever saw. I have nostalgia for that. But overall, I really, really like Episode 1. Not because of Anakin, believe me. Not because of Jar Jar either, I assure you. I just like the Trade Federation Army. I like the Naboo line. I like the Naboo ships. I really like that part. That storyline, that arc. That was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll say this much on world events everywhere, Ukraine, everywhere. Your local corner. I mean, last night here in two or a couple nights ago, guy was shot to death outside the Starbucks there. It's just not good. I mean, but the thing is, going all the way back in history and time, there's been times in history where people have made comments like literally, I mean, a couple thousand years ago, literally it's recorded. Call no man who's alive fortunate. Like, wow. Means he's saying if you're alive, you should be unhappy. And you know what? That's absolutely true. But there's so much to be grateful for. And sometimes we focus on the negative and it doesn't leave any room for good stuff, And you gotta take everything by balance, and we gotta take our blessings where we can. And just remember, every day, for better or for worse, you're not guaranteed the next day. So do what you like. Like episode 6. Oh yeah, that's so intense. But see, I'm an old softy. I hated the Order 66. In fact, so much that when I first started this channel, someone had asked me in the comments, because I wasn't doing live, so I didn't have the subscriber base. They're like, what do you have against Phase 2? And I have nothing. I think Phase 2 is great. But what I had against them was Phase 1 is, Episode 6 is in the future. But anyway, Episode 6 is amazing. To be honest, all the prequels are good. I mean, some of the dialogue in Hoth was a little bit. I mean, even as a kid, I'm like, huh, why did you say that? Sorry, I was meant Episode 3 there. Episode 6. The Walker in the background, the Raid on the bass. Luke walking with Darth Vader. The shuttle scene, yeah. Those are all great, man. It's actually hard to pick one, but yeah. But yeah, you're not guaranteed the next day. It's like some of my coworkers said I was nuts because the reason I like the Sunday is it's a chance to get what they call a split at work. And the splits, literally, like I start work at 7 and like around 4, I'm off for like 4 hours. And literally come in just for a little bit after 8 o'clock at night or 2000 hours. And what I like about that, it gives me a chance to go get some fried chicken or like a really hot, spicy chicken that you can't get here in the valley. And I'm 90 miles away from that place, and I don't want to drive 90 miles to go get some chicken because that would be kind of silly, actually. I mean, that'd be really hard to justify that with the price of gas and everything. But yeah, sometimes I'm willing to work on a day when I'm off just so I can go get chicken or just see stuff. What? Okay, well, you have a good night. Take care of yourself, man. Really glad you dropped by. Let me pull this thing up here so I can read this. Oh, yeah. Have a good night, man. Appreciate you dropping by. My last favorite Star Wars set. Lego Star Wars set. I think the one with the ship pursuit. What was that? Got these numbers. 75364. New Republic E-Wing versus Shin Hati Starfighter. And the reason is I like the Starfighter. It just has such a kind of a World War II aircraft vibe to it. I really, really like that. I thought that was really cool. That was a really cool set. Like I said, I really like these two ship sets that they've been coming out with. I think there's a lot of one stud attachments on this set. Not that I'm against that, but I mean it's a display set after all. It's not really about swooshability. Oops. See what I mean though? Wet steel. I remember y'all remember early Star Wars sets where the legs of the minifigure will get caught in the seats and caught on the pegs, and you got to pull them out of the cockpit, and the legs will stay behind. They used to freak me out as a kid. It wasn't Star Wars back in those days, but it was something other themes, and I used to kind of like really not like that. I mean. And it wasn't because I thought it was weird. It was just because it would weaken the joints. I knew it was going to tear the figures up eventually if I didn't, Now that's interesting. Those little bricks have grills all the way around, and you cover them up, which is fine, I guess. That's why they use that color. I wouldn't want to have some of those bricks for maybe mock building. That might be kind of cool. So it's a 2x2. Looks like it's a double wide brick. It's not one plate, but it's not the triple of a regular building brick. That's kind of cool. Let's see. But yeah, it's definitely springtime here. It just feels like summertime. It's like 40 degrees, super warm. That's a nice way they did it, making the slopes. That's kind of cool. Oh, we got our stickers here. Okay. Favorite Lego UCS God, I don't have that many UCS sets. I think the favorite one that I want, and I might be wrong, and I might be disappointed when I get it, is a big sandcrawler. I really, really want that. I don't want to pay what people want for it, and I don't really want too crazy about getting one that somebody's like, well, it's 80% there. You're like, 80%. It's a lot of missing pieces, and the Star Destroyer is teaching me what for about buying something that I know is missing pieces. But of the UCS sets I have right now, I think my favorite might be a little bit controversial. I really want the Luke's Lancer, but overall, I really like that kind of brick he built 2015. I think it was the Tie Fighter. I like the size and the weight of it. I just really like that set. Really, really like that set. And at the end of the day, that's basically it. Do what you like, because my dad had always said, you don't want to be stuck with stuff that you don't want. That's why when coworkers say, "Well, what set should I, hoard up?" I'm like, "Okay, your attitude is already wrong. You're talking about hoarding Lego sets, never opening them, just stacking them up, which is fine. But there's a sad side to that. Can you imagine that you might end up stocking away in a dark closet a sets that someone else might really want? Someone else may have really appreciated to have it, and they can't get it. They're going to have to pay some crazy price to a reseller, or maybe they'll just never be able to have it at all. Meanwhile, there it sits, gathering dust in your closet. It's just gathering dust. And something happens to you, or you kind of forget about it, they get destroyed in weather, or moves, or maybe, you know what? Maybe just something happens, and you never get a chance to do anything with it. It just sits there forever. But the good news is, material things, unless they break or something horrible happens to them, eventually someone will find it and be able to do something with it. So that's cool. And that reminds me, I went to an estate sale because I do resell stuff on eBay, and I bought a watch and I posted on my Facebook page. I'm not going to sell it, at least not yet. But it's a 1972 wristwatch made by Timex, probably a cheap watch at the time. And it came in a little box, and it's all there. It's all there. And still had bits of wrapping paper and stuff, and it said something about Merry Christmas. And went, wow, two ways to look at that. That's really cool. Something like it's like a time, it's like a time capsule. But the other part that I looked at and thought about, someone bought this thing as a gift for somebody. They probably bought it with love and probably thinking, man, I bet the person will be so happy to get it, and this makes me feel good to get it for them, and this person's done a lot, or maybe they didn't even think that, but whatever, let's just imagine. And instead of using it, instead of enjoying it, maybe letting the person see it on their wrist to show how much they actually appreciate it, it sat in a box, in a drawer, and the person died. And now I have it, and I bought it for almost nothing. When I say I bought it for next to nothing, I mean I bought it for less than the price of a 4-up set. I bought it for about the price you might expect to pay for a basic clone off of eBay. Oh yeah, thanks, man. The set we're building here is the Tantive 4 75376 Lego from the 25th anniversary sets. But yeah, so that's one way to look at it. Not to be grim about the past, but I picked up the watch, and guess what? It's sitting in a drawer too now. But the difference is, it's surrounded by lots of other watches that are similar to it, so. Yeah, anyways, that's enough of that rant. And that's part of the reason when people ask me questions, it's not that I don't want to comment, it's just that I do this for escape from a Lego channel, and you want to hear me yap about other things, and the other channel is kind of for that. And, I try to stay on subject there too, but oh well. I've always liked these pieces here, these wheel pieces. These things are really cool. They're reversible and they're just neat. And even back in the 70s, the early Lego wheels had the stud in the center, so you could essentially put, a hubcap. Of course, we didn't have the round discs, but I sometimes try to figure out some, I'm always thinking ahead, like maybe someday they'll have that, and they did. And you know what? I was always worried as a kid I would have outgrown Lego and not be able to put those hubcaps on. But here it is. I'm literally half a century old, and there it is. So that's cool. And that's that. That is that. And it is late. Oh my goodness, it's almost 10 o'clock. Corsair Guard gunship. Oh, that's a cool one. I really like the color of that. The building's going good, but I'm going to probably end the stream soon because I just realized how late it is, and I got to get to sleep. The same message everyone else has been giving. And I'm just going to finish up with a little bit of Griebling here. But yeah, that Corsair gunship was cool. I know it also brought a lot of criticism. Why are these gray? Did I screw something up here? No, I didn't. Okay. I didn't. Okay, that's good. Like, start yakking and talking and forgetting what I'm doing. Oh, man. Thank you. Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate all the support out there, but I gotta end the stream, sadly, because I just realized what time it is, and I gotta get it pretty early here. And I've been definitely a little bit under the weather, shall we say, as they used to say. I don't know if anyone even says stuff like that anymore, but... And this one goes over here. Yeah, the Griebling looks good on these things. It does. Finish up this little bit of Griebling, and I bid you all a good night. And appreciate everybody dropping in and stuff. I'm still talking. I'm still looking downward. Oh? Thanks. Yeah, I definitely appreciate all the great support out there, y'all, and it's definitely a blast. And this is sometimes a downside about working all the time, but anyways, that's where we're at, and I'll probably finish this. Maybe I'll do another stream. Maybe I'll just finish up off stream. I don't know. That way my mistakes aren't shown. Yeah, thank you, man. Good night. Take care of yourself. Everybody, appreciate everybody dropping in. Y'all have a great night. Take care of yourselves. It's been great seeing y'all. Really appreciate the great support, the great community. Keep it going. Let me know in comments on video stuff, what you guys are building and what you're all doing, guys and gals out there. Till next time, y'all stay safe. Ciao.